GSTV coming at you 2 days before the Super Bowl of the offseason, the NFL Draft. And I just wanted to come on here, give you my projections, who I think we might be able to pick up with our different picks. And I also want to talk about the Braylon Edwards trade too. Latest word with that is it's kind of at a standstill. I know that the Browns were requesting a first-round pick, Mathias Kiwanuka, and an additional pick, possibly fourth or fifth round. I might be making that up, but I think that's the case. And Jerry Reese had offered them a second and a fifth-round pick. Understandably, the fact that this hasn't happened yet is, making some people worried. But I really think that this is a win-win situation for both sides, and because of that fact, something will go down on draft day. The thing with the two positions here is that there's plenty of room for compromise in the middle, and I think the fact that nothing's happened yet doesn't really suggest something's going to go one way or the other. But prior to the draft, teams are going to hide their hand and politic to try and get the best value they can. What I think will end up happening is sometime around 4:30, 4:45, this trade's going to go down when the Browns get on the clock in the first round. And I suspect there's going to be a convergence in what the two sides have been offering. I personally think the Giants should give up a first-round pick, and then next year a fifth-round conditional pick that could become a fourth round if Braylon meets certain performance benchmarks. I think that's something that both sides could agree on, possibly. Then again, I'm not an NFL front office guy. Definitely, either way, do not want to trade away any of our young talent, especially a guy like Kiwanuka. But that said, can't predict these trades, but I am going to try and predict what we're going to do this weekend with our picks. And for those of you who've been following the blog, I've been trying to highlight some different positions. Definitely, if not for other people, just for my own research here. I'm not a big college football guy, but I've done my homework, I think, and so I'm going to throw a few ideas up at you right now. And please indulge me a little bit. I've been playing around with some new video editing software, so messing around with some logos a little bit. The big rule for me, for the Giants this weekend, 3 letters. BPA, best player available. The Giants have consistently been about drafting value instead of need. And although we do have some big needs to fill, wide receiver position, I really don't think Jerry Reese is going to sacrifice value to get need. I really think BPA will be the theme that defines the Giants draft this year, as it is every year. So the first round selection, the Giants are on the board at 29, and again, these projections are without trade, and I think there will be trades, but got to go with what we know. 29th pick, I think it's going to be one of two things: a wide receiver or Laurinaitis from OSU. The wide receivers I like are Hakeem Nicks and Kenny Britt. I know a lot of people are big on Haywood Bay. I really feel like he's overrated and one-dimensional and is not going to do much for us. Brian Robisky is a guy I really like, but not at this pick. I don't think it'd be a good value for us. I think with our first second-round pick, 45th overall, that would be a good grab. So 29th pick, I'm thinking Kenny Britt, Hakeem Nicks, who might be off the board, or James Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis, I think, is a guy that we could groom to be Pierce's replacement. The jury's still out on Goff, whether or not he is going to be a serviceable player. The other thing is perhaps a talented guy like Laurinaitis could be converted to Sam or play Sam backer for us next year. I don't know. But that's 3 options, I think, for our first round pick. Number 45, depending on what we do in the first round, I like Brian Robisky, as I said. I think he's a smart guy. Great football IQ. His father is an NFL receivers coach. Very sound fundamentals. There's some speculation, though, about just how much upside he has because of his limited athletic ability. But I like the guy a lot. O-line depth is an issue that we really need to address in this draft, I think. And one guy I really like is Max Unger, center from Oregon. He could be off the board by now, but the guy's a very versatile, tough guy, one of the best interior offensive linemen in the draft. I was listening to some NFL scouts say that this guy could play arguably 4 positions on the line, excluding left tackle. And then if we decide to go linebacker here, Clint Sintum from Virginia is a guy I really like. He's great in traffic. He can get after the quarterback. The one issue with him, though, he could play the Sam, but many people think he's probably better suited for a 3-4 scheme. Again, I sort of feel like if this guy's a real top talent, he can probably, he might be able to adapt to a 4-3 traditional strong side position. But I don't know. Another name to keep in mind. With the 60th pick in the draft, again in the second round, you could go a couple ways. I think another offensive lineman that I really like is tackle Jamon Meredith, South Carolina, I believe. This guy seems to have all the upside in the world. So I think it'd be a great grab to eventually groom to start at left tackle for us. Again, he might not be on the board. He could go as early as the early second round. I don't know. Just another lineman I really like. We could also choose to go secondary at a couple of safeties. Again, I think, BPA is going to be the theme that dictates this going forward. And then third round, I've thought about it a little bit. A couple names to think about. If we don't go linebacker on the first day, I think a very possible pickup with our first third round pick would be Tyrone McKenzie from Southern Florida. This guy is a straight up 4-3 sandbacker. Big, nasty. I think he could be a good fit for us. Other possible pickups, David Bruton from Notre Dame, defensive back. I think this guy would be a great value pickup in the third round. Again, if we're still looking to do receiver, Ramses Spartan with the 100 pick overall. This guy's a 6'6" or something ridiculous like that. I think it would be, he could be somebody we groom to be sort of like Plaxico Part 2. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what we do this weekend. The rest of the draft, I figure some other positions we need to address. Defensive back, offensive line depth, maybe wide receiver, tight end. Couldn't hurt to get depth. I really do like Darcy Johnson though, and Kevin Boss. I think both of those guys could develop into a major 1-2 punch. And then here's another one, a wild card, a kicker. We haven't had a good kicker for a while, and I think getting a youthful leg who can actually get the ball to the end zone on kickoff might be a wise investment for us. So anyway, that wraps it up for me. I've got links to all my blog previews on the side of the video here. Offensive line, secondary, wide receiver, and linebacker. I wanted to do kick returner, but I didn't. But I threw a question up on the Giants fan boards, and I linked the thread there and got some interesting names, interesting feedback on that. All right, guys. So enjoy the weekend. It should be fun and exciting. See what happens, and I'll get you back at the end of the draft, maybe next week. All right. Be good, y'all. Peace.